Sabbath. Happy Sabbath, everybody. We're joined here today at Miss Patty's house. We thank her for allowing us to come in and do Sabbath day here with her. And I want to thank everybody for last week. It was a good lesson. I got to listen to it going down the road. I enjoyed it. It was fun. I couldn't answer fast enough some of the questions, but it was fun. We had a good time, and I'm glad y'all did. See, everybody, I hope that everybody's. I'm waiting. We're gonna wait a little bit and get people to pop in. I ain't got nobody on here right now, but now we do. We got one. Is that you? Hello. Drop us a message down there.
Tips that she's
like and subscribe. Uncle Snacks, hey man, what's going on? Happy Sabbath. Tell Miss Walking Tall we enjoy her company too. Hey, how you doing? Walking Tall, you doing good? We're doing good here. We gonna be in chapter 19 today. We're gonna unpack some of this stuff here. Does anybody have anything they want to add or from last week or anything? Anybody? There was a lot of discussion last week.
The discussion is so important.
Yeah, it is. So man, if you
it keeps us drawing back to
keep talk, yeah,
it really does.
So what do y'all want to talk about? Y'all got anything y'all learned from last week?
Yeah.
It all comes back to being in covenant with Yahuwah. Everything in the Word does.
It's very important that we in that covenant of promise. I'm telling you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this morning I was learning some new things about out of the book of Enoch, and Enoch's here in the Sefer Bible. I'm glad it's here. It should have never been taken out of the original canon. It was in the original for over 500 years. All the apocrypha, everything is taken out for a reason, and you guys know it. Hey Tiffany, how you doing? Glad you got your Bible. Yes, we thank Uncle Snacks and Walking Tall. Give them the thanks for that. They hooking people up. We love y'all up there.
give Yahuwah.
Yeah, it's all the glory to Yahuwah. We give it to him. But again, we're going to be in chapter 19. We're going to be in chapter 19. Does anybody? I got verses here. Who wants to? Y'all got them wrote down?
Mm-hmm. I've already got mine looked good.
We'll just go in order. However we.
Why don't you just go around the table?
Yeah,
or whatever.
Yeah, we can do that. So you got yours? You got them? So we're gonna keep them. We'll keep them. Just go in order from the list.
Okay.
And just put a check by the ones we've already covered. I'll keep a tally of it. There's a lot of scripture today, guys, for chapter 19 out there in YouTube land. It's good. And that's why we love to be able to cross-reference and prove to people that Revelation is the Old Testament. There's over 600 scriptures alone that make up the Revelation from John. But see, John's not the only one that got it though. We're finding this. Yeah. Even the minor prophets is what they're called. Obadiah, Nahum, all these guys. Joel, Malachi. They are Malachi. That's a little humor, guys. Malachi, all those minor prophets, they all got pieces of this stuff. They all did. The Father knew what he was doing. He knew that there was going to be changing his word because Jeremiah prophesied that. So did Isaiah. So he knew through time where to put this stuff.
Dave says you cannot count.
Dave, I'm glad you joined us, pal. You up there sleeping? Yeah. Yeah, too cold up here. It's too cold. Okay, cold. But anyways, we love you, Brother Dave. We love you, Miss Jane, if you dare. If you got yours on, and Heather, get on there, share and like and subscribe, guys. Let's get it out. Let's get the word out. We're going to start at 19 right now, chapter 19. All right, here we go. And after these things, I heard a great voice of many people in heaven saying, Hallelujah, salvation and glory and honor and power to Yahuwah Eloheinu. For the true and righteous are his judgments. What are his judgments? What does his righteousness make up? We've already...
The Torah.
The Torah, but the Ten Commandments.
Yes.
That's exactly what his righteousness is. And we love his commandments. People say you can't live by those commandments. I beg to differ.
Yeah.
It's a whole lot easier living by them 10 than the church.
Self-righteous.
Well,
Yes.
That and the world's laws. I mean,
Exactly. You see, just imagine if the whole world paid attention to the 10 commandments. What do you think this place would be like?
Oh, it would be totally.
It would be a wonderful place to live.
chaos less.
Yes,
Yeah.
law, but you got that lawlessness coming. That lawlessness, the one that's without law, the perdition that's going to go into perdition. I'm telling you, man, if you ain't in covenant, it's imperative that you get in covenant with him. Come in. Start calling him by his name. He says, call on my name and you shall be saved.
Bless the new pope.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
The new pope. Anyways, it's coming. It's coming, guys.
Somebody wrote it on
It's
here.
coming.
Bless the new pope.
It's right around the corner. There's things coming that people's not going to be prepared for. They're not, because and it's nothing for one of the mishpaka.
Read that.
Bless
the new pope.
It's nothing to worry about if you're in his commandments, if you're in his will. Why? You don't need to be afraid. I mean, he says it 365 times, don't he? Don't fear. For every day of the week.
Yeah.
One for every day of the week. Or the
year.
year too, every day, every week. That's one for, hey, there's 7 days in a week. So there's one for every day of the year. That's right. All right, let's finish up here. It says, for righteousness are his judgments, for he has judged the great whore, which did corrupt the earth with her fornication, and has avenged the blood of his servants at her hand. And again they said, hallelujah, and her smoke rose up forever and ever. What does Mr. Isaiah say?
It shall not be quenched, night nor day. The smoke thereof shall go up forever. From generation to generation it shall lie waste. None shall pass through it forever and ever.
That was Isaiah 34:10.
Yes.
Does that not sound like what we just read? Mm-hmm. Is that what you would call? I kept waiting, Taylor, last week for you to say idiom, but you never spit it out. You said it sounds the
same as
I said, say it. I was
You
hollering.
should have said it
I'm
on the comments.
I was driving. It's an idiom. That's what we're talking about. A metaphor, an idiom. It's the same meaning with different words. That's all it is.
That's what I was saying, but I didn't say the word.
You didn't, but I was having fun with it. It was fun. All right. And the 24 elders and the 4 living creatures fell down and worshiped Elohim that sat on the throne, saying, Amen, hallelujah. Do y'all not remember the 24 elders up there in verses 1, 2, and 3 that were around the throne?
Mm-hmm.
They're here again. Mm-hmm. They never leave it.
Yeah.
It's amazing how people say, well, the church is gone after chapter 3 or chapter 4. Some people say 3, some say 4. I beg to differ. I disagree with that absolutely 100%. 200%. I can't believe it. People will argue with you. They'll argue with you. Oh, no, the church ain't going to be here. What's your thoughts on that?
I think they nuts. I think
they're ridiculous.
Yeah.
They don't look and study in
Nobody
scripture.
looks past the surface.
Yeah, they're only reading on the surface.
That's all they're doing.
Well, who is the church?
Well, we are.
Yeah, who's the church?
There you go.
The people.
When you
So
say,
if you
when you
know
say
who
we
the-
are, what do you
It's
mean,
not
really?
the church that's on every corner.
No, it's.
That's what they're thinking. That's their thought.
Yeah.
It's the church on every corner, but it's not.
And the people
It's
that
the
goes in it.
Kodashim.
That's
Right.
right. So would you not agree that the church is the saints?
Yeah.
The
Yes.
Kodashim,
Yes.
the set
According to
apart
the
ones.
word, yeah.
According to
Not
the words,
according
that's
to the
exactly
word.
Yeah.
who it is.
Well, that's because they don't know the
Yes.
word.
Right.
Yep.
They
Exactly.
don't know it, and they go by what Brother Billy Bob Brubeck says up there behind the pulpit, and Pastor Finkel Schwartz.
Yeah.
They believe this stuff, and they won't go look at it. And like I say, don't just read.
And they're going on taking their money on the Sundays and spending it.
Yeah.
It's just bad.
I mean, it's once the scales come off your eyes,
You can't unsee it.
you can't see
And you
it.
want everybody else to see it too.
That's exactly right.
And
You
you
can't.
get a sense of like anger almost.
But I was telling Patty. I don't know if y'all watched the video of the guy that I sent this morning in our thing.
Talking about John Truth.
Yes. Okay. Well, he makes perfect sense in that they don't No. And they're not seeking after.
Right.
It's
If you seek the truth, you shall find it.
right.
That's right.
But they're not looking
Set
for
you
it.
free.
Set you free.
Yes.
Amen. All right.
What's we in Psalms? We going to that?
We
Yes.
haven't got there yet, have we?
5, are you in?
I haven't read 5 yet. have I?
Okay.
You did, my bad.
And a voice came out of the throne saying, "Praise our Elohim, all his servants, and you that fear him, both small and great." All right.
All right, we're in Psalm 115, verse 3.
Is it verse 13?
13.
13. 115, 13.
Oh, 115, 13. I wrote it down
Yes.
wrong. Sorry. All right, 115, 13. He
Yes.
will bless them that fear Yahuwah, both small and great.
Who is he? Who is he?
Yahusha.
This Yahusha.
Yes.
He come, because remember he sat at the right hand of the Father at the
Right.
throne. So you heard a voice come out from the throne, and he says to praise the Father. He's telling you right there who to don't praise me,
Right.
just believe in me.
Right.
But he's the one that shares his glory with
But-
nobody.
Right.
But
No
who
one.
is everyone praising nowadays?
That's the whole
JC.
point.
That's the problem.
JC,
That's-
everybody's JC,
They give
JC.
praise to
Yeah,
And
they,
he's
put, they elevate way up here, and the
He's a
Father's down here.
fictional character.
He's the
Really,
one.
he's a fictional character.
That's
because who they said that the Messiah was is not who he was.
no.
No.
He's the lawless one.
Right.
He
Yes.
tells you, hey, you don't have to worry about the covenant no more.
He's the
You don't
one
have
that
to worry
came in
about
his
the
own
ten.
Just like the
Exactly.
moniker.
Come in his own name.
It tells you about the moniker. It tells
Yep.
you exactly what it means. That's another reason
Chi
I
Sigma,
sent that.
Chi Sigma. Yep.
Yeah, it tells you exactly.
Tells
It's
Who
in
it
that
is.
video. It
And
breaks
that's
it
the
down.
image that's been set up by none other than the Roman
Catholic
Catholic
Church.
Church.
That's why we
Blessed
ain't
papacy.
blessing no pope.
Yeah, the Pope can go
Jump off of
jump off a
the
cliff.
front of the
It don't
where
matter to
they.
me. I don't wish no harm to him, but I don't follow him. I don't think he's. I think
support
he's.
him.
I think he's evil.
He's evil.
It's pure evil, and I support no evil. Period.
Blasphemous, too.
All right, here we go. And I heard as it were the voice of a great multitude, and as the voice of many waters, and as the voice of mighty thunderings, saying, Hallelujah! For Yahuwah Elohim Setzvah reigns. Can you imagine that loud, booming, thunderous voice? Wow, I mean, it sounds like thunders, and
Literally.
it's amazing. And he's telling you the Lord, he's the God of hosts, Yahuwah. All right, then it says, let us be glad and rejoice and give honor to him, for the marriage of the Lamb is come. Y'all get that? The marriage of the Lamb is come, and his woman has made herself ready. What is that?
The bride, his bride.
He's telling you, remember, you're invited to the marriage supper of the Lamb. Who is the Lamb marrying?
His people.
His people. Is that not
The
does that not-
Kodashim.
The Kodeshim. Does that not sound like right there, guys? Right there in that very chapter 19, verse number 7. Does that not sound like a rapture? When he comes and brings his people to the marriage supper of the Lamb?
Yeah.
A feast, that's it. That's the wedding. He's
Well-
telling you. Right there in 19. So tell me,
Rapture's a made up word.
tell
too.
me, how in the world is the church gone after chapter 3 and chapter 4?
They're not.
How is it possible when we just read this right here in
That's not
19?
being deceived.
They already are deceived.
No, but they're going to be even more deceived when that rapture don't come.
That's going to send a lot of people into a strong, it's going to be a delusional. It's
That's
going to make
they're
them,
falling away.
they're going to lose their heart and say,
their
man,
faith.
I got left behind. They're not going to, see, they're not ready.
Lose faith, yeah.
They're not ready. And you know what? There's going to be, we'll probably just make it in by the skin of our teeth if we just want to be honest about it. Because and I'm not saying that in a bad way or a bad, as long as you get in, that's all that matters.
That's right. Yeah.
As long as you're there. But can you imagine how we lived before we came into the covenant?
We were sheeple then too. We
Yes,
were following, led to the
following.
slaughter.
Not listening. It's terrible. I don't get it. And I mean,
Especially in the day we live in now, where sin is so abundant, you know.
it's the lawlessness. It's the one that you're following. I'm gonna go to church today. Well, you're gonna.
That's
I'm going to
sin.
go to church and I'm going to get in the heaven.
Well, people are just lazy in their faith. so much. It's like, man, I'd rather have somebody tell me what I need to hear instead of really doing it myself.
Yeah,
And
and guess what? When somebody corrects you,
then
how does it make you feel?
It hurts.
It hurts. And guess what it does once you get
It
your
makes you want to
feeling?
retaliate.
It makes you want to retaliate.
but how
see,
can you retaliate when you don't even? study
that's our
yourself?
knee-jerk reaction, though.
Yes.
If I tell you, Dallas, you got to stop this, man, and I say something, whatever it might be,
You're gonna take that personal.
you're
You
going
don't
to
get
take,
defensive.
it's going to be
That's everybody's
personal.
reaction.
That's everybody. Look, I'm going to tell you what.
But as the Kodashim, we are to know that when we tell one another that we're doing it out of, it's
love.
truly out of
Of
love.
course.
Yeah,
course.
I agree with that.
See, yeah, because I'm going to tell you what. I was doing something, I can't remember what it was, but some girl from one of that other group that I don't look at no more, she'd stuck a dagger in my heart. I'm going to tell you. And I didn't have no idea about it. It was not even registered in my thought process, but she was right. And I was getting ready to fire her up. I'm telling you, because it made me mad. And that was the reason.
But she was right.
And I was getting ready to say something to her, and all of a sudden I could hear like an inner voice saying, "Is she right?" That's exactly what it said to me. Is she right? And I was like,
I've heard that a few times.
Oh, God.
I'm like,
but are they?
Is she right? I said, whose side are you on? Man, is
side
she
of the
right?
truth?
And I said, And I looked at it where she was talking. I didn't know what she talking about a picture. And I looked at it. It was my profile picture. It had 3 wooden crosses. I said, oh.
And it hadn't probably even crossed
It
your mind.
never crossed my mind. And that's a graven image. And so I had to go back to her after I was wanting to light her up and apologize and thank her for showing me that you was right. I didn't even, but see, it's the love when you tell people these things, and people look
Yes,
at it
Tiffany, that is grace.
it's hate. They don't want to hear. They don't want to be corrected.
That's the grace. She's right. That is the grace, because he's allowing you to see that. It's not what they say grace is. That is his true grace. When when you're corrected and you're like,
Grace is his conviction.
Right,
Yes.
but he's letting
But
you
that's the
see.
conviction.
He's
Yes.
letting you
Yeah.
see.
Exactly.
That's right.
That's exactly
that is
it.
exactly right. She's right.
Look,
in that.
it says over there, I think it's in his grace is sufficient.
Yes.
His grace is that he is sufficient enough to allow you time to go back and change.
Yes.
That's
And get
why
it
it
right.
also says,
Yes.
lean not on your own understanding.
That's
right.
It is.
Yes.
So I have been trying to be better about when somebody says something to me, to not take it personal. And
It's hard.
It's hard.
It's really hard.
Especially because when you feel like you're in your word, and disciplined in your word, and then somebody comes at you like that, it's like, I don't know who you're talking to.
Yeah. Who you think you are, buddy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I know what you mean.
Yeah, I get it. I do. I get it. I get it.
But it's part of spiritual growth.
It is, and if you can sit there and take somebody's, the Kodeshim, outside of Kodeshim, they think it's a jab, but to us, it's correction, and it's still correction to them.
And it still hurts.
It does, but as Kodeshim, you are more apt to listen. And filter it and process it to see, okay, are they
That's
telling
because you got
the spirit of truth? Amen. Amen. That's
And not the
exactly what
spirit
it
of
is.
error.
And what does he say to do? He says to worship
In
in
spirit and in
and
truth.
in truth. That's exactly what it says, and that's what I love. And look, I said I'm still working. I'm a work in progress. I got problems. Everybody's got problems.
We all do.
We all have our shortcomings. But if we know that, and we put them center stage and try to work on them, that's all we can do. And the power of the Holy Spirit, the Ruach HaKodesh, is going to guide you. He's going to. All right, where are we at? Number...
6.
No, I already read it. Okay, let us be glad and rejoice. Give him our... Okay, that's the marriage supper. We just did that one, the marriage
Okay,
supper.
we're on it.
So we're on 8. And to her was granted that she should be arrayed in fine linen, clean and white. For the fine linen is the righteousness of the Kodeshim. So tell me about that. What about the fine linen? Where have you heard that?
It's in Isaiah.
Okay, but... Yeah, 61:10.
10.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I will greatly rejoice in Yahuwah. My soul shall be joyful in my Elohim, for he has clothed me with the garments of salvation. He has covered me with the robe of righteousness. As a bridegroom decks himself with ornaments, and as a bride adorns herself with her jewels.
Guess what? Now let's go to chapter 6 of Revelation and look at all the souls underneath the altar. What does he give them?
New
Robes.
robes. Right.
Righteousness.
I didn't even have a look. I already knew.
Yes, he did. See, and people say the church is gone. Then why are they still under there in chapter 6? They can't be. Because when the dead in Yahusha rise first, they're instantly changed. They get that robe.
And white robes were
Yep.
given to every one of them, and
See?
it was said to them that they should rest yet for a little season.
See there? It's amazing what can happen when you study, when you get into the Word. Look, don't take my
And they
word
try
for
to
it.
tell you that it's in chronological order.
It's not in chronological order. It's not. Don't take my word for it. Don't take Taylor's, Robin's, Patty's, Dallas, Mom. Don't take our word for it. Get in there and see if we're telling you the truth.
Yeah.
That's what we got to do.
Study to show
Yes.
thyself approved.
Okay, and he said to me, right blessed are they which are called. And he said to me, these are the true words of Elohim. And I fell at his feet to worship him. And he said to me, see, you do it not. So what's that tell you? The church worships in JC.
Right.
And what's Yahusha telling you not to do?
Don't worship it.
See that
That's
you
right.
do it not.
See that you do it not. You
Worship
to believe on him.
Yeah.
Oh, it's amazing, guys. And I fell to the feet to worship, and he said, see, I am your fellow servant. Did he not come down here and wash people's feet?
He did.
And yes, he's a fellow
He did, and
servant.
He wanted to be equal.
He's a fellow
With
servant.
us.
But yet the church elevates him. Can't do it,
That's
guys.
wrong. That's breaking the first commandment.
It is. It's breaking.
The first.
Yeah. Easy, the first 3.
Yeah.
The 4th one is the Sabbath, and he always kept Sabbath.
Right.
He kept it all the time. He even did work on the Sabbath. Because
other people.
that's right. That's why he magnified 2 of those laws
Right.
above the other 10. Remember, he magnified them?
Because those should come first.
That's right. He said, because it's mercy
Over
over sacrifice. He wants you to love your brother as yourself. But he also wants you to put the Father first. And
Before
love
anything.
him before anything with all your heart, your mind, and your soul. Then the second one is likened to the first one. Love your neighbor as yourself.
Yes. How quickly we forget that.
That's right.
Yeah, no.
And your brethren that have the testimony of Yahusha, worship Elohim. For the testimony of Yahusha is the Ruach of prophecy. So what's the testimony of Yahusha? What's his testimony?
Him coming, I would say him coming and
He-
dying.
Manifested in the flesh.
That's
Yes.
it.
Word.
And he taught
He taught.
He
the
taught-
commandments.
Yes.
How to
And,
keep them. Exactly.
He taught us how to be righteous.
He did.
He walked in perfectness.
He did. Remember, over there in Genesis, it says, the Father says, to walk thou before me
And be perfect.
perfect.
I feel like Yahusha made a lot of personable laws when he came. Not really laws, but like when he came, he loved people. Like he showed people how to love one another.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and Yahusha is very. What's important to him is emotions and feelings, how you treat one another. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Well, listen to this. I sent another video this morning, and it said that when back in the day, that if you had to go and to go to the bathroom, number 2, that you had to leave camp because Yahuwah didn't want to be around no mess, none, and you had to wait till the sun went down before you could come back in. That's how bad it was. So that tells me people talk about, oh, he's love. He is, but they forget the part where
But see,
he's not.
that was added.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Right.
But I lifted that.
Right.
Yep, that's
Right.
sacrificial.
But-
That's sacrificial law.
Yeah.
But people that are running around still outside of this,
Commandments.
They
Yeah.
think he loves
that's
me.
what
Yeah.
That's where I'm going with that.
Yeah.
He said, I
The
don't
one
pray
that
for
are
everybody.
not in covenant.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of mess.
Because what does he say?
Everywhere.
He said that I pray for the ones that are given
That you
to
have
me.
given.
Yes.
Not everybody.
Yes.
Not everyone.
And people say, you can't, man, he loves everybody. He does. But guess what? He ain't praying for you if you ain't.
He
if you
ain't putting
totally
up
I
your
had a
mess.
discussion on TikTok about Yahusha being biased. And there was
you know,
one
that's-
person that commented and said, do you believe that Messiah was biased? And I said, I don't know if bias is the right word
That's not the
for
right
it.
word. I was about to say.
But he doesn't pray for everybody.
I would
and
put it
I
like
sent him
this.
that scripture in John.
What would you think? Maybe more righteous?
Right.
That's what it would be to me.
More,
It wouldn't be,
You have
More choose me?
yeah, it wouldn't be biased because he's not biased against anybody. If you come
Right.
in, if you come in,
in the covenant,
he
you're
gives
in
you,
the
that's
fold.
right.
Ain't that what free will is?
He gives you that
Yeah.
free will. Look,
That's what I was explaining to him. I don't think bias is the right word for it. I think it's
You
have to
choose.
choose it.
bias
It's not-
means you're showing favoritism, and he
Right.
does show his people favoritism.
Yeah, but he gives you the opportunity to
That's
choose
right.
that also.
He doesn't tell you to stay
It's
over
not
there.
like he's saying, oh, well, you, Taylor, you can do it, but Patty, you're not allowed to.
Right.
Yeah,
That would be more biased
that's
to me.
it.
Right.
He's saying you both have equal right to
Look.
come in,
Yeah.
but it's up to you.
Let me give you the perfect analogy. There was angels created before we was ever created.
Yep.
He gave them free will. A third of them decided they didn't want the free will. So guess what they did?
No, they wanted the free will.
They wanted their own
but
will.
Own
Right. They
will.
wanted.
So that's
they
the
didn't
free
want to
will.
serve a master. They wanted to be the master.
Yeah. And see,
Yeah.
that's right. They made a choice.
And they got
a blanket?
booted out.
They
That's
got
why he
the
was
boot.
shot out of
Like
heaven.
They got
lightning.
bit.
Yep.
Baruch.
They
He
can't
got a
come
big-
back. They can't come back.
He's like, yeah.
All right, where we at? Number 11?
No, go ahead.
Wait.
I need to read the
Patty's
verse
got
for
one
10.
for-
Yeah, 10.
Yeah.
Patty's got
Okay,
10.
go ahead, Patty.
Okay, it's Jubilees,
I love that book.
31:12.
Mhm.
Jubilees 31:12. Kodashim listening.
Okay, it says, and the Ruach of the prophecy came down into his mouth, and he took
Levi.
Levi,
Oh, I'm
Levi,
not in the book of Jubilees.
and he took Levi by his right hand,
Yep.
and
Judah.
Judah by his left.
See, those are two tribes.
Yes.
Yep.
The Levites, the tribe of Levi is the Levitical priesthood.
Yes.
And then you got Judah. Judah's the line where Messiah came out of. That line.
The Lion of Judah.
Look, that's right. I know that we're all a part of a tribe, but I couldn't tell you which one.
But he scattered them.
He did. He
But
scattered.
they're going to
Oh,
be
we
brought
don't
back.
know. Yeah, we
That-
don't know
that's-
what tribe we're
See,
part
look,
of,
that's
but-
what the church is teaching, that we're in dispensation, which is hogwash. They're telling you that the new covenant's already here, which is absolutely ludicrous because Jeremiah tells you in 30 and 31.
Yeah.
That's what it tells you when it's going to happen. It's when he comes back that those
That's
two
the
trees
millennial reign.
will
It
be
is-
back together. Exactly.
It's plain as day.
It's a
the nose on our
restless
face.
monkey could figure this out if
I
they
know,
would
right?
read.
A what?
A 5-year-old could
A
understand.
capuchin. They could figure it out if they would read.
That's not mean.
I mean, it's not rocket science, and I ain't trying to be mean out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the
I was going to
truth.
say he's comparing them to.
Man, a monkey can figure out this. I mean, if a monkey can figure it out, why can't we?
Wow.
He gives us a bigger brain.
Yes, he does.
He gives us more common sense.
Well, I
Why
don't
do
know
you-
about everybody.
Why do you think it is when we go to large companies like BMW, we're not allowed to talk about it? You know, it's in the handbook, you can't talk about religion.
Yeah,
You can't talk about it.
you can.
You can't. It's like that. I don't know.
Look, I tell my boss man this on several occasions, Todd. I tell him, say, look, yeah, I've been a conspiracy theorist. People call me a conspiracy theorist my whole life.
Mm-hmm.
Well, guess what? That's a calling. A lot of people have that.
I
They don't
believe
follow.
that.
They don't follow the same beat to the same. It's a different drummer. It's a whole. I've been called this my whole life, and guess what? When the mess hits the fan, you're gonna be. I'm gonna be looked for. People
Yeah,
like me
too.
are going to
My
be
whole
looked
entire
for
family's gonna be like, what? was
because
Taylor
I
saying?
know I have been called names by my own father. I have been called names by friends and cousins. If somebody asks me something, I'm not going to tell them what they want to hear. Like with the vegetables. You know why there's no seed in our vegetables anymore? You can't get your own. It's
So you can't
because
grow your own
because you
stuff.
can't grow your own food. It's a
Right.
hybrid seed.
Right.
I don't like it. My grandpa, his name was Willie Lee Wade Nelson. He kept his seed every year and had his own seed. He knew how to do it. That's a forgotten trade.
Forgotten.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know how to do that. I got a friend listening right now on here that does. I don't know if he saves his seed, but I know that he does gardening and tilling up there where he lives. Ain't that right? And but he
Why did Yahusha allow people worship Yahusha in the New Testament? Why did Yahusha allow people worship Yahusha?
How did he get worshipped in the New Testament?
hold on. So, okay, is
That's what Walking Tall is asking.
Okay, what's it say? Why did
Yahusha
allow people worship Yahusha
In the New Testament.
in the New Testament?
Where's that at?
So why did Yahushua let people worship him in the New Testament?
No,
But where is that
at?
give me. You need
An
to
example.
give me an example where he did this, because I think it's been taken out of context, because he never said worship me. He always said put the Father first.
Yeah.
He always talked about coming to the Father. Always. He says believe in Him and that I am He.
Matter of fact, he said, "Why do you worship me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Worship the Father.
Yeah,
Right.
worship the
my
Father. That's
in
exactly.
heaven."
That's a good question, Walking Tall. So, find me an example if you would, because I can't find that. I can't find one where he says worship me. But that's a good question, and I like those kind of questions. And I hope I answered it correctly enough for you, because he always talked about worshiping the Father. Always. I must be about my Father's business. He talks about all kind of things about the Father. He never put himself equal to or greater than the Father anywhere in the New Testament. You know, now other people may have worshipped him that shouldn't have been, and like I said, he would tell them to go sell all your goods and follow me. Why would you follow me? Because he knows the way, because he is the way, the truth, and the life. He knew that he's that gate. See, Messiah is a gate. And that's why if you read in Isaiah 66, I believe it is, I can't remember the verse number, if you'll stand and cry in that gate, which is him, that you can have your family members can be saved. Not all grapes will go into the winepress. Because
I found an example.
okay, go ahead. She found one, Walking Tall. Hang on. Taylor's gonna read it. Read
Matthew
it loud.
2:11.
Read it loud.
And when they were come into the house, they saw the young child with Miriam his mother, and fell down and worshipped him. And when they had opened their treasures, they presented to him gifts, gold, and frankincense, and myrrh. And being warned of El in a dream that they should not return to Herod, they departed into their own country another way.
Okay. He didn't say worship.
Right. He didn't say.
Right,
He didn't
right.
come out.
He
That's
did
what
it.
I was
They
thinking.
did that
They
because
did
their
it
own
on their own
accord.
recognizance.
You got to
their
think of
own-
how many people worshipped him out of gratitude.
Yes.
For
Right.
saving
Right.
them, you know what I mean?
That's what I
Yes.
think
Like
that
they,
is.
Yeah, that's what it is.
But it's not like he
It-
commanded them to
He
do
was just a
so.
kid. He was just a baby. He didn't say worship me. He
Right.
didn't. I get that, but still, Walking Tall. That's a great question. And they didn't know. They didn't know at the time. They just believed because an angel told them. I mean, an angel came to him and told them that this is the word. See,
The
remember,
word is coming down.
the word is his word. Everybody has words. I'm speaking my words right now, but my words are glory to the Father. That's why he spoke everything into existence. His word did. He said, "Let there be light." Guess what happened? There was light. He said, "Let there be waters over the face of the earth." There was water. He spoke all this into existence.
His words.
His word. So he spoke his word down into Mary,
Yes.
and she, through the power of the Ruach HaKodesh, was made pregnant by, yes.
Conception,
By-
immaculate
Yeah,
conception.
Yahuwah, I mean,
And I mean, it's his word.
Spoke it.
And
into
look, and then
existence.
as he grew up, as Yahusha grew up, he knew the word. He was teaching in the, he was the word.
You
he
got a
knew the
question?
knowledge.
He knew
Yeah, I'm just
it.
thinking about
Imagine,
Huh?
I can see it.
I know.
Okay, read it.
where it talks about worship, but I think this is a misunderstanding.
Well, go ahead. Where is it at?
Hebrews 1:6.
Okay, Miss Walkentall. Hebrews 1:6. We're going to see this one. We're going to unpack it. Let's go.
And again, when he brings his beloved Son into the world, he says, and let all the angels of Elohim worship him.
Adore him.
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah.
And of the angels, he says, who makes his angels Ruach and his ministers a flame of fire. It just goes on to say, but to the Son, he says, your throne of Elohim is forever and ever. And it's just saying what the angels.
I'm wondering if that's not maybe like a
But
for
they're
the lack of
worshiping Yahuwah
their
or
worship.
his
Yeah.
Son.
Yes. I think for. What do you think, darling?
I think the same as Taylor. I mean,
Yeah.
I think it's I don't think there's anything wrong. You know, if Yahuwah commanded his angels,
Can you read that one more time? Because there's a
1:6.
question that I have. Yeah.
You want
Hebrews
me to read a
1:6.
little bit above it?
No, just read that again, because I want to.
And again, when he brings his beloved Son into the world, he says, and let all the angels of Elohim worship him.
But who says?
Okay, yeah, I got what she's talking about.
That's Yahuwah talking.
Okay, so he says.
He said it.
He's speaking the word.
Yes.
So there you go.
Exactly.
It's not like he-
Yahuwah.
He's saying,
Right.
yes, not worship him.
Right.
Worship the Father.
Right.
See, that's another great example. It's all how you unpack and
It's
put
how
the
it's
word in.
perceived.
That's right. It's called context.
Yes.
Read it in the context that's in. All right, we're on number 11. Let's go. And I saw heaven open, and behold, a white horse, and he that sat upon him was called Faithful and True. And in righteousness he judges and makes war. Who do y'all think that is? Me and Robin had a time with that one. Who's got Psalms 72:2?
I've got it. I've got to get over here to it.
Did you want to read? Do you want to read? Okay. All right. Psalm 72.
Hold on, Scott. I got to get to my Psalms. Sometimes
He sat on that white horse.
we were
see him.
discussing it.
And he that sat upon him was called Faithful and True. And in righteousness he judges and makes war.
Yahoo.
Read. We waiting on. We
Faithful
waiting.
and true. If it's Yahushua.
Hang on.
Hold on. Where's my?
Because he's judging. He judges and makes war.
Oh, right here. Sorry.
In righteousness he judges.
And it is Psalms what?
72, verse 2.
Right here. No, that's a different one.
Did you order those tabs?
No, I meant to. I was gonna go by the store because they didn't
Keep
have the
going back.
ones. They didn't have the ones that I wanted online. I was afraid it would rip our pages because they looked like they were too strong. 72.
Verse 2. We waiting.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
man, it's new for me. It's I'm having to flip over.
I love it.
Well, if you get some, get me some.
I will. I was gonna buy everybody some.
There it is right there.
He shall judge your people with righteous and your poor with judgment.
Who's gonna be who's judging? Who's the judge?
Yahuwah.
Yahuwah. You don't think he's coming back?
I think they're getting.
I believe his son Yahusha. He's gonna be that field general.
He gonna roll in like
I
that.
thought that
he's gonna roll in.
Yahushua was going to be the one to make judgment.
Hold on, we're fixing to find. You're fixing. See, that's what I thought. Well, you got to keep
But
reading the
isn't
rest
he
of the
just the
chapter.
intercessor,
Mm.
the lawyer?
He's your
He's one of
he's
the
your
judges.
yes, he's your
Okay,
probate
so he's
circuit.
not the judge.
Listen,
I thought he's the
listen.
lawyer.
We gotta keep going down. Remember, we're gonna unpack 19. I told you there's a lot. I thought the same thing. I promise you, I thought that same thing. Just wait till we hear. All right, then we go And he judges and makes war. His eyes were as a flame of fire, and on his head were many crowns. Who's got the next one? Daniel.
Isaiah. Daniel.
Daniel 10:6.
Yes.
Oh, I missed that one. Well, somebody, I did.
Dallas.
Hey, that's your turn.
Yeah, sorry.
You got in a hurry, didn't you, there, Dallas
He was scribbling.
I did.
boy? Yeah.
Sorry, y'all.
All right,
10:6.
yeah, 10:6. We're going to see what he says here.
All
Listen.
right. Daniel 10:6.
Yep.
His body also was like the beryl, and his face as the appearance of lightning, and his eyes as lamps of fire, and his arms and his feet like in color to polished brass, and the voice of his words like the voice of a multitude.
A voice of a multitude. Listen, beryl, the word beryl, it means beauty, value, and divine glory.
I seen that too. I looked at that
Beryl.
too.
Beryl. All right, let's keep going. His eyes were, okay, we got that one. And he had a name written that no man knew but he himself. So if only the Father knows when he's sending back the Son, and only he knows himself, do you think that that might not be
It's Yahuwah.
that it's Yahuwah? Keep on,
Because it
and we're
said
going to
he-
keep, and we're going to keep going and show and keep unpacking this because it's very
Critically
interesting.
thinking.
You got to critically think here. And he says
Yeah, but-
he was clothed with a vesture dipped in blood. Who's got the next one? Isaiah 63:1.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, he's got a vesture. He was clothed with a vesture dipped in blood.
63:1. Who is this that comes from Edom with dyed garments from
Wait a minute. She's got to go ahead.
Boxra? This that is glorious in his apparel, traveling in the greatness of his strength. I that speak in righteousness, mighty to save.
Okay, look up Matthew 28:16-20, because Walking Tall says, what about Matthew 28:16-20, where Yahusha didn't stop them from worshiping him?
Go ahead. I have to read it.
28:16-20.
Yeah.
Then the 11 Talmudim went away from Galilee
Galilee.
into a mountain where Yahusha had appointed them. And when they saw him, they worshipped him, but some doubted. And Yahusha came and spoke to them, saying, all power is given to me in heaven and in earth. Go ye therefore and teach all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father and of the Son and of the Ruach HaKodesh,
Okay.
teaching them to guard all things whatsoever I commanded you, and lo, I am with you always, even to the end of the world. I mean,
Guess what? Did he say worship me?
Mm-mm.
He didn't. They fell down and worshiped him. But he says he was sent from the Father.
Yes.
And he wants you to go out into the world and tell them about that glory. He has that Shekinah glory on him.
I was gonna say that's why they worshipped him.
That's
listen,
why.
listen, Tiffany said it kind of really good here.
Yeah.
She said, when people bowed to Yahusha, they weren't saying you are the most high creator. They were acknowledging you are the Messiah, the promised one, the
That's
vessel
right.
of Yahuwah's deliverance.
See,
Right.
Bingo.
see, he
I got the
again,
Ruach.
and walking or Uncle Snacks. That was another good question, but you got to put it in context again. He didn't ask for their worship; they fell down and worshipped him.
And
Some
his
of
Bible
them
makes
didn't
it
believe.
Do you baptize in the name of the Father, the Son, and the
Yes,
Holy
because he's part of them, but there's no Trinity.
But we,
I know, but it just
Yahuwah, Yahusha, and the Ruach HaKodesh.
Yeah,
Yes.
and their names.
in their names.
Their real names. You have to
Yes.
be baptized. I mean, I'm not saying that you can't.
And not with the cross either.
Yeah, none of that.
No,
You
no.
do it in their name. Look, how can you call on somebody if you don't know their name?
You
Hey,
can't.
you! I believe in you. I want to be saved. You, I believe.
Hey, Roofer,
You can't do that.
Right.
you got a whole pile of them.
He
up there.
says to call on my name.
Hey,
And,
hairstylist.
and if they've taken his name
No,
out
it's
over
fine.
7,000 times,
Y'all say something?
how can you call on him? How can you preach him if you don't even know who he is? You can't. You can't. It's impossible. All right, where are we at now? Okay, and his name. Okay, and he was clothed with a vesture dipped in blood, and his name is called the Word of Elohim. His name is called the Word of Elohim. His name is called the Word of Elohim. Who is Elohim? Yahuwah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So if he comes in his Father's name,
Yahusha.
Yahusha,
But his
salvation.
name is called the Word of Elohim.
He's the
And who
Word.
is that?
That's Yahusha. He's
And,
the Word.
and in the beginning was the
Word.
Word.
But
So
And
who's
the
the Word?
was.
that he's not coming back
Who's the
to
Word?
judge though.
Who
That's
does
what
the
I'm confused
Who does the
about.
Word belong to?
Yahuwah.
Okay. So if he sent his Word down here to die for us and knew he was going to do it, is that still, to think about that for a minute, unpack that. Tell me what you think about that.
What are you
What,
As-
yeah,
as-
what is
as
the
a
question
ground
you're
of what?
asking?
Yeah.
On,
Yeah.
what's
Okay,
the,
if he is the Word and he spoke the Word, so who does he belong to?
he belongs to
He
Yahuwah.
belongs to Yahuwah. So was he there with him? He said he was in the
Yes.
beginning.
Yeah,
but
he was the Word.
the Word was
The word
with
was
him.
with him.
Right.
So do you think that there was a physical person standing beside
No.
him?
No,
No.
it's his word. He
Not
spoke
at that
it.
point in time.
No.
No.
His Word came down here and put on skin
Right.
and
And
bones
bone and flesh and blood.
And
Yeah.
then when he went back up, he had a spiritual body.
Yeah, so who's the King of Kings?
Yahuwah.
Yahuwah. That's
He's
it's
the Most
got
High.
yes.
Yeah.
Because there's
And he's the
nobody
Elohim of
higher.
Elohim.
Because we can't get on the train of Jesus being higher.
No,
than God.
Are we
can't.
being too loud?
No.
Okay. And that's what I'm getting at, guys. He is the Word.
Right.
But the Word is his. It comes from him.
Yeah.
So if he comes down and he's sitting on that horse and he has a
All
name
good
that nobody
things come from the
knows.
Father of lights.
So I mean, we'll keep getting into
Is
it
that
because
why another verse that we looked up a while back said that Yahuwah was returning?
Yahuwah, yes, he is.
He's-
He's
Because you notice that this Bible says something different than the other ones
yeah.
when we read that
Yep,
verse. You
yep,
remember that?
yeah, I do.
Yes,
I
they
do.
were all. Remember, we checked it in
Yeah.
different. In
All right.
And it
Dallas.
said that Yahuwah was going to return in the clouds. Where's
Who's got
that at?
Who's got Ezra?
That's what.
I can't remember. I'd have to get back in it and look.
I think
Yeah.
it's Thessalonians.
Ezra 4, chapter 13, verses 10 and 11. Who's got that
I
one?
do.
Okay, let me read the verse first. And it says, "And the armies which were in heaven followed him upon white horses, clothed in fine linen, white and clean. And out of his mouth goes a sharp sword, that with it he shall smite the nations. And he shall rule them with a rod of iron. And he treads the winepress of the fierceness and wrath of Yahuwah Sespot." All right, what does that say in the next one
10 and 11.
Yes, Ezra.
Okay. But only I saw that he set out of his mouth and. Sorry.
You good?
But only I saw that he set out of his mouth as it has been a blast of fire, and out of his lips flaming breath, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks of tempest.
Tempest.
A tempest.
Yes.
That's a storm.
And they were all mixed together, the blast of fire, the flaming breath, and the great tempest, and fell with violence upon the multitude which was prepared to fly, and burnt them up every one, so that upon a setteth of an, I don't know, innumerable multitude, nothing was to be perceived, but only dust and the smell of smoke. When I saw this, I was afraid.
Okay, now whose wrath is that?
Yahuwah.
Okay, so if he's coming
Yahuwah.
with the sword out of his, what's the sword? We know what the word is.
The word.
the
The
word.
sword.
Yeah.
So
The
guess who's
Ruach.
guess who's coming?
So bad, man.
See, that's what I'm saying. It's the we know that the wrath is the Father. He's gonna pour out this stuff. So who's on that horse?
Yahusha.
Yahusha.
Or is it Yahusha or is it Yahuwah?
I would think
Look, I
Yahusha.
found this verse.
Let's read it.
It's 1 Thessalonians 4:16.
1 Thessalonians
For
4:16.
Yahuwah himself
For Yahuwah
shall descend from heaven
shall descend from
with
heaven
a shout, with the
shout.
voice of the archangel, and with the shofar of Elohim, and the dead in Mashiach shall rise first.
See there? I'm telling you.
So I
man.
wonder if he's
The dad-
coming with him.
You know he
Yeah,
is.
he is. That kind of sucks.
Oh, he's gonna be the
Yes.
field general.
He's the general.
He's gonna be
Okay,
the one
got
on the
you.
ground
But see,
fighting.
look.
Kind of makes sense.
That's what I'm trying to. There's not all that army that's coming with him in this verse right here, guys. When you're reading this verse, nobody's fighting.
Listen, walking.
Who's
talk to
fighting? He's doing it.
Yeah.
Man, it's done.
us. He's bringing it.
Boom.
Yeah, he's
He's bringing it.
okay. Y'all ready for the next one? Isaiah 63.
What did Walking Tall thinks? I'm
Yeah.
starting to. Okay, great. I'm glad you are.
No, what did
Okay.
he say?
What?
What did he say?
That's
Walking tall. She said,
She's
"Thanks, I'm starting to understand."
She's starting to understand.
Oh,
and
okay.
and then
See-
and then Uncle Snack says, "This is amazing."
It's amazing once. Yeah, you're right.
Once
Uncle
you
Snack.
start to
once you
critically-
start critically
yeah.
thinking, because I thought it was Messiah.
Me too.
Yeah, but this is iron sharpening iron because
It's iron
you
sharpening
know,
iron. That's
you're
right.
But
finding
this verse
verses
right
that
here
are-
don't say it's the Messiah.
No, it's not.
No.
I'm telling you.
And
Because
in other Bibles, it don't say
you
that.
think Messiah's going to have a name that the Father don't know?
No.
Up there in
No,
a few verses up?
course.
No.
He's not. Because only
but
the Father
Yahuwah
knows.
will.
Right.
Only the Father knows when He's coming back. Not even the Son.
Nobody.
Only Him.
Right.
This is
Do you
something
follow
that
me?
we have to unlearn from the church.
Exactly.
Right.
We have to unlearn all the mess that they put
Another
in our
lie that we
heads.
just now found about.
My head starts to tilt sometimes with all the mess that
I
comes out from the
know.
church. And I got to fill it back up with good stuff.
Right.
All right, where we at now?
Okay, right here. Isaiah 63:3 says, "I have trodden the winepress alone, and of the people there was none with me.
You hear that?
For I will tread them in my anger and trample them in my fury.
See that?
And their blood shall be sprinkled upon the garments." What garments? The one he given you? And I will stain all my remnant.
Do y'all understand now?
Wow.
He's the one coming
Yahuwah,
back.
that's what
He's
he-
the one that's
I-
faithful and true.
I is him.
He's the one.
I thought Yahuwah was all love.
Yeah.
The church
Oh, yeah.
and the doctrines of the church.
Yeah.
He's all about love, man.
This is literally
Trample.
what
Yeah.
they have done to us, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to the different Bibles, they
What is that?
It's a dog.
This dog's
Trying to get
over.
in.
Oh, I thought it was a roll
They've
around.
taken their doctrines and inserted it in the Bibles.
Yes. And that's what, man, it's amazing once you start reading, and I love it. Okay, where are we at now? Number 15?
Yep.
And out of his mouth, no, I already did that.
Wait a
one.
minute, she's got to read Psalms 2:9.
That's me. Hold on.
Psalms 2:9, okay.
Dally,
Is
and
that where
then-
we're at now?
And then Lamentation. All that goes with 15.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll get mine.
Yeah, I got it
Yeah,
right now,
Lamentations.
15, yeah. All right, Psalms 2, verse 9.
Yes.
See, guys, out there in TikTok land or
TikTok land.
Facebook
We're on
or
the
YouTube land,
All
do you
of
see
them.
what happens when you start learning this right here? There's more verses in the Old Testament that make up Revelation. I done said it at the beginning. There's 600 or more that makes up Revelation. John's not the only one that got this, guys, and it's a beautiful thing. I love it. Go ahead.
Psalm 2:9.
2
Yes.
and 9. Psalms 2 and 9.
Yes.
Psalms 2 and 9. All right, Psalm 2:9. You shall break them with a rod of iron. You shall dash them in pieces like a potter's vessel.
Wow.
Did we not just read that?
Literally.
Yeah.
Did we just not read
See,
this?
it's like he's telling you over and over.
Over and over. It's like a broke record.
But the church ain't gonna
Look,
tell you that.
that's
I know,
right.
that's right.
My
See,
son says, "Dad, you sound like a broke record." That's because I love you, son. That's why I tell you.
And that's why
over and over.
Yahuwah was saying to us,
He's
because
telling
I
us like
love
a broke
you.
record. It's like it's got a
Children.
skip on it.
Yeah.
I caught myself on the phone with my mom the other day saying if I had 1,000 tongues, I couldn't thank him enough.
Couldn't think of it.
Aw.
I couldn't thank God. I'm serious.
10,000, a
Could-
million.
it don't matter. All right, who's got the
Say it.
Lamentations?
Lamentations
Yep.
1:15.
Yep, it's Lamentations 1, verse 15, guys.
Yeah.
Adonai has trodden underfoot all my mighty men in the midst of me. He has called an assembly against me to crush my young men. Adonai has trodden the virgin, the daughter of Judah, as in a wine press.
That's his own people, too.
Mhm.
You heard that?
Mm-hmm.
He put him in that wine press. You don't want to be in the wine
That's
press.
the Judah.
You don't want to be in the wine press.
It reminds me of like the hot or cold, you know.
Yeah. All right, number 16. And he has on his vesture and on his thigh a name written, King of Kings, and Yahuwah
So that's a
Adonai. It's on his vesture.
Wait a minute, stay, can you read that again?
Yeah, read that again.
It says, and he has on his vesture and on his thigh a name written. Huh?
That's,
King of Kings. Yahuwah Adonai on his vesture and on his thigh.
so
His thigh's
So how's
covered.
it got it written on his stuff?
It's covered. He's in his garment.
but
Read vesture.
How's it written on there?
Look up vesture.
yeah, look that up. I don't know what that means.
He's small.
It's not a tattoo because he tells us clearly don't mark your body in Deuteronomy.
Yeah, but isn't that lifted after that?
Well, I don't know.
Because that was
I don't
one of the
know.
older
I'm
ones.
not saying because I know there's that's not a sacrificial law. He's got other laws other than He in his sacrificial law.
But didn't that become a law because they were marking their body with
I don't.
satanic
Look, I don't know that. I just know what Deuteronomy tells us outside of sacrificial law.
You don't want to talk about tattoos?
clothing,
No, I got a
dress.
tattoo.
He was veering away from it, wasn't he?
No, I have a tattoo. I'm not ashamed of it at all.
See, but
I'm just
I'm like
telling you
him.
what-
He's probably gonna have to do more research on that.
Yeah, but I'm just
Right.
telling you what the word says about it. It
Okay.
says don't mark up your temple, and you're the
Okay,
temple.
Here
So
she comes.
Symbolizes the consciousness of
Keep talking about
unity.
what does
Vesture.
it on his vesture?
Look it up in Hebrew. I always look up the Hebrew definition because that usually gives you.
Wonder if a vesture was something that you wore.
Clothing or garment.
Yep,
There you go.
I told you that's what it was.
Vesture.
It's like a sash or something that you
So
put
it's a
on.
distinguished person.
And he says it on his vesture,
On
You
his
know, like
face.
the
and
queen wears the little
it's
sash.
laying on his thigh because he's fully
Purple,
clothed.
wasn't it?
Yeah, he's not going to tell us to not get a tattoo and then him put one on himself. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, that'd be
Yeah,
kind
that's
They don't
contradictory.
exactly say don't get a tattoo.
He says don't mark your temple. That's the same thing. Idiom. Yeah.
But
it
mark
is.
your temple.
Look, I got a
I know.
tattoo, guys. It don't. Look, I'm
A
telling
crayon,
you.
Taylor.
Look, I'm telling you out of love. Out of love. I got a tattoo.
There we go. We're getting that.
I got a tattoo. I did it.
We all got
It's
them.
okay.
But it's
It's
before we
not unforgivable. There's only one sin that
I
you
don't
can't
wanna
be
get another
forgiven.
I just don't know if it exactly says that. or
Look,
not,
I wanted to. I
See,
thought
that
about
would be
getting
more
one, but after I got in there and started reading that, I said I'm not getting another one.
Yeah.
I
I'm probably
did,
not getting another one either, but
I
I
wanted
want to
to-
know what it says.
but I'm not telling anybody. Don't get a tattoo.
Right.
Me personally, I'm not doing it. But
Right.
I wanted to, but I'm not doing it because what I've read, and so that's me.
What about like piercings and stuff? I felt like we went over
Man,
this
I don't know about all that.
Yeah.
But okay, where are we at now? Isaiah.
Irrelevant.
Hey, I've
Irrelevant
had my
guys.
ears pierced. I had this ear pierced twice, so it's okay. I mean, I'm not saying it's okay, but I don't know. I don't know. He tells us there's something about jewelry and stuff that we ought not have, but
Yeah, we was.
I
on
don't
one
know
day, we
exactly
talked
what
about
that
it.
is. See, because that's not on my radar.
Yeah.
Stuff like that, I want to be able to answer questions, but if I can't
We'll
answer
get
it,
back to it.
yeah, I'll go in and find it. I mean,
Yeah,
that's
we'll
how
get
I
back
like
to
to
it
do it,
later.
guys. All right, we're on
17.
17. It says, and I saw an angel standing. Listen to this, guys. Listen to what this verse says. He says, I saw an angel standing in the sun. And he cried with a loud voice, saying to all the fowls that fly in the midst of heaven, come and gather yourselves together to the supper of the great Elohim. Did you hear what he said? He didn't say he was standing on the sun. He said he was standing in the sun. In the sun. And he lets out a loud cry for all the fowls of the air to come. Guess what that supper is about to be? You're about to find out what the supper is that he's feeding to them.
Yeah.
Listen what he says here. That you may eat the flesh. Remember all the people he just wiped out down here?
Yep.
You remember all that? All the people we just read that he wiped out? Listen. That you may eat the flesh of kings and the flesh of captains. That means generals and, he started at the top all the way down. The flesh of mighty men, the flesh of horses, and those who sit on them, and the flesh of all men, both free and bond, both small and great. Now, where else have we read this about free and bond, small and great?
I've seen it, but I can't remember.
He causes them to receive a mark in their hands or their forehead.
Revelation.
This is the people that's been marked too. That's there. You follow me?
That's
You see that?
Free and
bond. It's a 16, I think, or it might be 13. I can't remember. It's
it was
something in
in
there. It's right
Revelation.
in there. I can't remember the exact verse, but that's
13.
yeah, 13.
13.
So that goes along.
And so
Come
do
on,
you?
Mark.
What verse is that?
Now read that. Find it and read it to us so we can. So I want the people out here listening to
Oh,
understand.
right here, 18.
Where it specifically says the mark.
Yes, about the free and bond.
And he calls all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead.
All right, now let's go back to this. And they're going to eat the flesh of horses and those who sit on them, and the flesh of all men, both free, bond, both small and great. You see? You know
Yeah.
those people have been marked.
Yeah.
Wow.
It ain't rocket science. It ain't rocket science. All right, who's got that verse?
And that wasn't that far back.
Who's got Isaiah 34 and 6?
Me. The sword of Yahuwah is filled with blood. It is made of fat. It is made with fatness, and with the blood of lambs and goats, with the fat of kidneys of rams. For Yahuwah has a sacrifice in
Basra.
Bosra, and a great slaughter in the land of Edom.
Okay.
Edom.
Well, what about that? Does that not just sound like what we just read? What he's going to do back here?
Yeah.
Isaiah, see, Isaiah said it. John said it. Jeremiah says it. I mean, it's all here, guys.
And here, I'm going to tell you what Ezekiel says
Tell
about
us
it.
what Ezekiel says.
Ezekiel 39, 17 through 20. And you, son of Adam, thus say Adonai Yahuwah, speak to every feathered fowl and to every beast of the field. Assemble yourselves and come. Gather yourselves on every side of my sacrifice, that I do sacrifice for you, even a great sacrifice upon the mountains of Yashriel, that you may eat flesh and drink blood. You shall eat the flesh of the mighty and drink the blood of the princes of the earth, of rams, of lambs, and of goats, and of bullocks, and all the fatlings of Bashan. And you shall eat fat till you be full, and drink blood till you be drunken of my sacrifice, which I have sacrificed for you.
Now, who's
Thus, wait a minute. Thus you shall be filled at my table with horses and chariots, with mighty men, and with all men of war, says Adonai
and
Yahuwah.
who's he feeding it to?
Those people that were
Yeah,
free and bond.
who's he feeding it to? Go back to who's he feeding it to? Go back to the beginning.
And you, son of Adam. Is that the people?
Keep going.
Thus say, speak to every Adonai Yahuwah. Speak to every feathered fowl.
There you go. See, every feathered fowl
And every beast of the field.
is going to eat all that. That's a slaughter. It's a sacrifice. That's the sacrifice that he's going to do.
They
at
give
the
him
end.
back
Yeah, and they're going to eat
to all
so
them that were
much
sacrificed.
that they're going to be drunken. It says from the stuff that he gives to them.
Wow.
That's a lot. All right, now, and I saw the beast, and the kings of earth and their armies. You see how this falls right into the free and bond?
The walkie talks and fowls of the air. Yes.
And I saw the beast and the kings of the earth and their armies gathered together to make war against him that sat on the horse and against his army. Who's got that one?
Psalm 2:2.
Yes.
That's me.
No.
Yes.
We're not.
Psalm 2:2.
Yes.
Yeah.
19. Revelation 19.
Oh yeah,
19,
we done did
Psalm
we done did
2,
Ezekiel.
2. Yeah, I just read
Okay,
Ezekiel.
all right. Psalms.
All right. Psalm 2:2. The kings of the earth set themselves, and the rulers take counsel together. Oh, against Yahuwah and against his Mashiach,
Mashiach.
yeah, saying, you me read 3:2.
You can.
Let us break their bands asunder and cast away their cords from us.
That's the same thing as the breaking the
That's right.
the free and bond.
The free and bond.
That's the same thing.
Look, and they're going to come against no other than the Father and the Son, Messiah. It says it right there in Psalms. Okay, now here we go. And the beast was taken, and with him the false prophet that wrought miracles before him, with which he deceived those who had received the mark. See there? The mark. We just talked about it back up here. They're going to be destroyed too. It's all right there. And worshipped his image. Who's his image?
What are you talking about?
Who's the image of the beast?
JC.
Say it. Who is it?
JC.
JC. No other. That is the image. And I know there's people that don't
Chi-Z
like to
Sigma.
hear that. Chi-Z Stigma.
Yep.
That is the image. And Rome has set it up.
Mm.
Rome has set this up.
Where did you say like the? I didn't look it up, but
Yeah,
Christ,
your
Christmas?
lovely last
Christian,
name.
yeah. It's the Chi-Z. I can't remember the chat. It's in Revelation.
It was
Yeah.
weird. I was thinking last night
I
about
think it's
Christmas.
16.
It's 13.
Yeah,
Is it
And then-
13?
and then,
Okay.
like,
it's right there at
Jesus-
the end.
Jesus
It
Christ, and then Christmas is pronounced two different things, but it's the same word.
Yeah.
It should really be Christmas.
You
Look
know,
at the 13. Look at it. Shows the moniker.
Yeah.
It shows the
The
actual.
Chi-Z
Sigma.
Chapter 13.
Yes.
Yes, the last.
And it says,
verse.
these
It-
both were cast alive in the lake of fire. You notice he says these both.
Both the
But
Antichrist.
he named three. Did you understand what I'm saying? He named three things there. He says he took the beast and the
beast
false
was
prophet.
taken, and the false prophet.
He
that
says was
wrought
taken with
miracles
him with
before
false
him.
prophet and wrought miracles before him, in which he had deceived those who received the mark of the beast,
beast.
and those who worshipped his image.
So that's three. The
That's
beast,
three, but he only cast two
the
into
prophet,
the lake of
and
fire.
the image.
He only cast two into the lake of fire.
Mhm.
The beast and his false prophet.
Prophet. hmm
But the beast is the Antichrist.
Yes.
So who's the false prophet?
Well, that I don't know. Maybe the Pope. Maybe
But I thought
Maybe
people
what's
thought.
his name?
But I thought people thought the
Mahdi.
Antichrist was the false prophet.
maybe
So how do
Donald.
you
Maybe
get to-
Donald.
Mahdi.
Maybe Donald Biden. Who knows? All right. And it says they were cast into the lake of fire, burning with brimstone. Who's got that?
Me.
Daniel 7:11.
I beheld them because of the voice of the great words which the horn spoke. I beheld even till the beast was slain, and his body destroyed and given to the burning flame.
See there? The little horn. So it sounds like to me, I'm not saying that it's the Pope. I don't know the false prophet, but that sounds like the beast gives the little horn his power for a little
Yes.
bit.
Yeah.
So is it the Pope? I don't know.
Sure is a
I
lot
don't
of
know. But I guess I guarantee you this,
They got a part of it
he's gonna be revealed,
soon.
I think soon.
and his Mashiach, his Kodeshim, will know. We'll know. So we just have to be vigilant.
Right.
All right. And it says, and the remnant were slain with the sword of him that sat upon the horse, and the sword proceeded out of his mouth. What's that sword coming out of his mouth? It's
The
his
word.
words.
Mhm.
He is sharper than
Any
says
two-edged sword.
his word is sharper than any two-edged sword. He's destroying people, and he's all about love, man. It's all about love.
Ezra 13.
I
Yeah.
think so.
And he says, okay, then the sword, out of his mouth, and the fowls were filled with their flesh. Go ahead and read. Ezra 4,
Ezra 13.
yeah, verse 10 and 11.
You got it? I got it if you
That's
don't. What?
It's for
Yeah, it's in
Ezra.
here.
Yeah, it's
It's
in there.
Ezra. It's Ezra.
Okay,
Ezra.
well, I thought it was Ezra 1.
No, it's 4.
Okay, Ezra 4. What?
Ezra
13.
4, 13.
13:10. and
Yep.
11.
Yeah. She's right. It is 4.
Is it 4?
Yeah. Because
Fourth Ezra.
Yeah, it
four-
is.
Second Ezra's.
Yes.
Yeah.
yes.
Ezra's.
That's
Yeah.
what it is, yeah. But our Bible, it's weird like that.
Yeah, you have to get
Go ahead if you got it.
for the 10.
Yeah,
It's
chapter
13,
10
10.
and 11.
Okay, but only I saw that he sent out of his mouth as it had been a blast of fire, And out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempests. And they were all mixed together, the blast of fire, the flaming breath, and the great tempest, and fell with violence upon the multitude which was prepared to fight, and burned them up every one, so that upon a sudden of an innumerable multitude
11, 10 and
nothing
11.
was to be perceived, but only dust and the smell of smoke. When I saw this, I was afraid. That was, you read that earlier.
That was, yeah, it's the same. It was the same verse.
same verse.
I know, that's why I stopped. I was like, wait a minute, we
Yeah.
heard this
And see,
earlier.
that's what I'm telling you, man. It's amazing. It's amazing how it goes right along with what's already been written by John.
Uh-huh.
But do you guys get that out there? Uncle Snacks, Walker Tall, Dave,
And you too,
Tiffany.
Glenn.
Y'all getting the feel for it? Y'all understanding? Anybody got anything they want to add? Cause that was it.
He's got the
we'll be doing
mimicry to a T.
chapter
So
20 next week. Do what?
She was saying that he loves to mimic everything Yahuwah does.
Yeah, he's a mimic. And but guys, we appreciate y'all being here today. And if y'all need anything, just call and you guys, if you need anything, just don't hesitate to drop me something in the comments on the regular,
Somebody's writing something, walking tall. It's coming.
Yeah, it is. It's
Yeah,
coming.
you guys did good. Uncle Max said.
But we appreciate y'all being with us. We love y'all. We love y'all fiercely in Yahusha.
See y'all next.
And we'll see y'all next week, guys. Y'all have a blessed day, okay? If y'all need anything, get in touch with us. We love y'all. Bye.